Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, that was a Final Finish. No, that was a Five Nights at Freddy's reference. Goodness, I can speak. Excuse me. Hi, welcome back to the Gigabyte stream. Today we're going to be trying to relearn. I don't like how low resolution this part of the image is, and then this is sharp. Whatever. Today we are going to be trying to relearn Recollection Extreme, so that I can get started on getting my fourth wing mount, the Wings of Knighthood, if I'm not mistaken. I have actually cleared this fight before. One second. As you can see, with the fact that I have totems in my inventory, but it's been a long time, and I only ever cleared it like 4 times. So I do not feel very solid in terms of remembering this fight, and I'm worried about how I'll do. So a little bit of a refresher is in order, I'd say. So I'm gonna be watching this video. Here we go. Wait, you can't hear it. Duh. Probably fix that. Let's see.
For this fight, you're going to want standard light parties and standard clock spots. You're also going to have times where the supports need to go inner cardinals and DPS to cardinals, so use color pairs. Additionally, there's one mechanic that really benefits from fan spreads, where supports are on one side and DPS are on the other side. I use these spreads, however, there's not, so use color light parties. For this fight, you're going to want standard light parties and standard clock spots.
Okay.
You're also going to have times where the supports need to go inner cardinals and DPS to cardinals, so use color pairs. Additionally, there's one mechanic that really benefits from fan spreads, where supports are on one side and DPS are on the other side. I use these spreads, however, there's nothing wrong with doing supports north, DPS south. Just make sure your melees can have their positionals. The fight starts with Thorned Catharsis, which is a raid wide. Afterwards, we get Shock, and go to our clock spots. 4 players, all from one role.
You know, I'm so rusty on this fight. I think I'm just gonna start a learning party, like just a straight up learning party, because I can't. I have a lot of anxiety around putting a party up as anything else. So we'll see.
Are going to get the standard point blank AoEs that we saw in normal mode. In this case, it's the DPS. These are going to drop a puddle that's going to persist and repeatedly hit, so you need to move out of it. The other 4 players, the other role, are going to get what are very large donut AoEs. These players instead have to stand perfectly still so they don't walk into the attack. The boss will follow this up with a cast of Alexandrian Holy, and this spawns 4 towers. The donut players are going to be the ones to take the towers. So we use our color pairs that we discussed earlier. The supports go to their intercardinals, and the players that have the point blank AoEs just need to find somewhere else to go, making sure to leave themselves a place to dodge to. When the ticks go down, the players in the donut AoEs stand perfectly still, while the players in the point blank AoEs walk out of them. Next up, we get Spectre the Lost. This is a tank buster tether that's going to spawn on 2 random players. The tanks just need to pick this up, pop mitigation, and go someplace where they're not going to cleave anyone. Afterwards, we get Escalon's Fall. For this, we've got all of the players in their clock spots, and I start with DPS already inside. We're going to get some random symbols appearing on the boss, and this is telegraphing the next 4 hits of the attack. This is complicated, so let's take things to the chalkboard. First, this symbol here means that the 4 nearest players are going to get targeted. This symbol means the 4 furthest players from the...
I have been messing around with audio settings and not actually paying attention. I'm going to do that for a second. Something that's been pissing me off is that my upwards compressor hasn't been working properly. So, like, yeah, I want to test this out right now, actually. Let's do this before I get any deeper into the stream. Meh. You shouldn't be able to see that. Can you see that? Oh, that's why. Wait, this is wrong. What an interesting outfit. I like that. But this is wrong. This is not where I want to go. What I was thinking of is going here, Washington Land. Yeah. Southern. Yeah, it's Western Thailand. It's just Horizon's not the fastest way to get to it. Oh, these ones look really cool, man. If you can get past the Throngler, but okay, cool. So like, that's very loud, right? I wanted that to be less loud. Why is this doing nothing? Maybe if I turn this off. There. I mean, it works properly when my microphone is actually speaking into the mic. I have a compressor set so that it turns down the noise. However, I mean, it turns down the noise specifically when I speak. However, when I'm not speaking, it's way too loud, which wasn't my understanding of the setup that I'd set up. I also do need to put an upward compressor on my microphone. For now, I'll just keep an 8 decibel pad and leave it at that. Okay. Okay, I'm back to learning. Turn that off. Turn that off.
The boss are going to get targeted. Each hit gives a 5-second vuln, and since the hits happen every for this, we've got all of the players in their clock spots, and I start with DPS already inside. We're going to get some random symbols appearing on the boss, and this is telegraphing the next 4 hits of the attack. This is complicated, so let's take things to the chalkboard. first. This symbol here means that the four nearest players are going to get.
DPS in whenever two symbols of the same type are next to each other, then when you swap, and there's a single swap or a double swap. Double swap would be like too close and then too far. You literally don't even have to look at the. You don't have to look at the icon. It makes sense to look at the icon because it allows you to time things like the Tengetsu. But it's not necessary. So DPS stand-in, support standout, and then the entire party swaps being in or out depending on when these two symbols.
This symbol means the four furthest players
are nearest to each other.
Each hit gives a 5-second vuln, and since the hits happen every 3 seconds, this essentially means no player can take 2 attacks in a row. This means we're going to have to occasionally swap who's the nearest and the furthest players by having rolls either move in or out of the hitbox. Now, there's really only 2 possible patterns for this mechanic. The single swap is when you see the first 2 symbols are different from each other. In this case, players can stand still for the first 2 hits, and then swap which roll is in and which roll is out after 2 hits. You can then stand still for the next 2 hits. The double swap is when you see 2 of the same symbol back to back. When this happens, you need to swap after the first hit, and then do another swap after the 3rd hit.
Yeah, okay, so I do remember how to do that mechanic correctly. That's okay, it's good.
Let's take a look at this. Escalin's Fall goes off, and we see the near bait, followed by the far bait. We now know it's going to be a single swap. Far bait, near bait. Split those up top, and here's how it goes. The DPS are already in, so they naturally just take the near bait, and the sports are already out, so they naturally take the far bait. This is a single swap, so we swap after 2 hits. The far bait now hits the DPS, and the near bait hits the sports. And that's it. Stock break is just a multi-hit stack. Hits 4 times, make sure to mitigate. Now we have Blessed Barricade, and we're going to have all the sports go west and all the DPS go east as we start an ad phase. For this, you've got 4 Rose Blood drops that need to be DPS'd down to be able to continue. 1 random support and 1 random DPS is going to be tethered to this ad. The support's always going to be tethered to the west ad, and the DPS.
When my brain isn't functioning properly, this is a mechanic that I have a lot of trouble with. I remember that. Just something about having to position the swords without actually seeing an AoE marker fucks with my head. But it shouldn't be that bad. Just point the sword away from the arena if you're a tether, and then everyone else stacks
always to the east.
The tethers, right?
We're also going to get a 3-person tower on each side. The first one will always spawn at 2 and 4. The player with the ad can rotate their ad, and they need to make sure that the sword of the ad is pointed outside of the arena because that's the side that they're going to cleave. The other players are just going to hop into the tower on their side.
Yes. Okay.
Be mindful as the player with the ad that you will actually be in the telegraph of the attack, and you're going to need to dodge out of it very quickly afterwards.
Okay.
This then repeats over and over again. We get a total of 3 sets of 3-man towers, and we get 4 tethers where every single player on each side is eventually going to get tethered to the ad. Continue to dodge as I showed before, DPS down the drops. Assuming you've done this in time and Zelenia's ether hasn't risen to 100, the shield will fall off the boss. The boss will become targetable and cast Perfumed Quietus, which is an ultimate attack. Just mitigate and heal through. In this phase, we now get Rose Blood Bloom attacks, and every time this is cast, you're going to get the stage transitioning. Be aware, whenever the stage is in this new form, there's a circle in the middle of the arena, just a tiny one, that will cause a very spicy dot to go on you. Don't run directly through the middle of the arena. You'll notice that some of the tiles are plain and some of the tiles are red. Right now, that doesn't really matter. However, certain attacks can cause the red, viney tiles to become unsafe. Say for
Hey, Kiku. Yeah, I'm a big proponent of speeding through videos just to check what you know, but
for instance, Alexandrian Thunder 2.
I don't know, you understand. I like speeding through.
And the boss will have it rotate.
Okay, so you always want to look for the the part of the arena with 3 inner tiles that are safe, and then you want to go behind the AoE there.
Look at the safe tiles, the ones that don't have vines on it. There should be 3 inner safe tiles altogether, in this case sort of in the 3 corner between B and 4. Go there, and go behind the rotation of this attack. Then slowly follow it as it rotates around, making sure not to sit in the attack, and not to accidentally step on one of the red tiles, as they are now dangerous and will cause severe damage if you're stood in one. Just as you think you're running out of room, the attacks will stop, and instead every player is targeted with an Alexandrian Thunder spread.
Cool.
The vine tiles are no longer unsafe, which means you can move through them to go spread. However, they will become unsafe again when the spreads go off, so don't be stood in a viney tile. You can just free for all this spread, there's plenty of time and plenty of room. Be aware that this first mechanic can come with an alternate floor pattern, but it's still the same basic idea. Find the 3 inner safe tiles, in this case between 2 and D, and stand behind the rotation of the attack. So in this case, players would start at A. After this first one, we get Thorn Catharsis raid-wide. Players would...
This is the one that messes me up, but then I realized that if there's 3 inner ones, there's also going to be 2 safe ones on the outer ones. So, you will have more than enough space to adjust. It'll be a little spicy if you're going for uptime, because you have to make sure that you're not standing in these red tiles, because you will get electrocuted, but other than that, very understandable.
Start at A. After this first one, we get a Thorn Catharsis raid-wide. And then we get Roseblood Second Bloom. The stage transitions again, remember not to be middle. And here we see that there are only a small number of safe tiles, 3 on each side. One side is 2 in and 1 out safe. One side is 2 out and 1 in safe. The boss is going to cast Thunder Slash, and we get 2 things going on at once. We get these rotating orange AoEs. They'll go off in the same order that they appear. And we get a telegraph in out. If the flowers are on the outside of the AoE, then it's an in, because the outside's going to get hit. If the flowers are on the inside, then it's an out, because inside is going to get hit. When Thunder Slash first goes off, both things happen at the same time, and focus first on the in or out. Here we have out is safe. If out is safe first, go to the side with 2 inner safe tiles.
I like thinking about this in a different way. If out is safe first, go to the side with the 1 safe outer tile. It'll resolve the exact same way, but it's just simpler in my mind. So you would go to this side, and then you would dodge in, and then also avoid whichever AoE happens to happen, right?
If in is safe first, go to the side with 2 outer safe tiles. Here out is safe first, so we go to D because there are 2 inner safe tiles on that side. We wait outside of the hit.
Getting ready for it? No worries. Do what you gotta do. I'm just rambling, to be quite honest. It's not really important that I be responded to, so don't worry.
And then we dodge in, and we pay attention as to whether or not we have to immediately dodge to the side. Sometimes you will. Sometimes, like in this case, you can wait for 1 and then dodge. As you do the final dodge, be aware that the red tiles are no longer unsafe, so you can go on them if you feel like it.
Right, because they're not getting electrified. It's conals. The conals aren't electrifying their sword slashes, I think, right? Also, that was a breath of fresh air to have friends to hang out with. I'm glad to be a part of that for you. Glad to hear it. These kinds of things are very trying, I imagine. Not that I have any necessarily any personal experience, but I wish well for you, is what I'm trying to say.
We get a Spectre of the Lost Tank Buster Tethers, and Roseblood Third Bloom. Roseblood Third Bloom is always going to...
Discord again? Yeah, sure. Where? There. Aw. My FC leader got custom crochet hooks made. It's cute. Friend request received and accepted. Can I delete this message? My message, specifically. I don't know if I can. Doesn't seem like it that way. Whatever. If I get added by bots, I get added by bots. Ew. Jesus Christ. Ew. Ew. Yucky gif. But hello. Brain, if you would like to return. Right there. Okay.
show up with this pattern that can be rotated in a random direction. What we want to do...
Wait. I'm trying to remember this. So 4 people get tethers, 4 people will get tower. 4 people will get tethers, 4 people will not get tethers. The non-tether players will stand at the towers. However, actually, fuck. Will they get 4 people get towers? Not tethers? Either way, 4 people will get AoEs. You want to position them in the middle. Right here. This will be the new north. Right? So 1 player stands here and 3 players stand here, essentially making this 1 very large tower and this 1 very large tower. You specifically do not want any anything to soak here or here. So the pattern would be puddle, 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 tower, 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 tower. You can clear the chat. That's a moderate function. Fair. I'll risk it. I think I'll risk it.
Is we want to find the tile in the middle of the two red inner tiles. This is going to be our new north for this mechanic. So I'm going to rotate things around, and you'll see that we have all players going to their color pair relative to this new north.
Relative to this new north. Color pair relative to this new north. That's the thing that fucks me up. So... Okay, no, I get it. Color pair relative to this new north, but it would be specifically on the cardinals. So... As melee, if I was melee 1, I would be west. If I was melee 2, I'd be south. Got it. That's something that I've struggled with. So,
Bud of Valor is going to get cast. And you'll see
I was right about the 4 towers. Cool.
But the 4 outer tiles have actually got tower spires sticking out of them. The entire tile now counts as a tower. Emblazon is going to target 4 players, either all supports or DPSs, with these Rosebud drops. When this attack goes off, these players are going to change the tile they're stood in into the red viney tiles. To solve this, whichever players do not have the Rosebuds are going to soak the towers. Whichever players do are going to stand exactly here and let me show you why. When their roses drop, you'll see that any connected tiles are going to count as one massive connected tower. If we accidentally drop these in a way that connects 2 of the towers to each other, the towers are invalid and it fails. You cannot actually solve the towers. So we had to drop them like this to avoid connecting any of the towers together. Be aware that now the entire large northern and southern areas count as a tower, which means that the main tank and the outtank can stand anywhere in there and it counts as soaking the tower. Whichever players just dropped the AoEs, they need to now walk off of the red ones, and the other players need to make sure that there's 1 per tower so that we can resolve the tower safely.
Cool.
There's
Got it.
Catharsis
Got it exactly correct. Nice.
Raid what? And now we split up supports west and DPS east again, ready for Bud of Valor. 3 players, all from 1 roll, are going to get targeted with the donut shock attacks from earlier. 1 support and 1 DPS, each are going to get a stack marker. And now the boss is going to cast Escalon's Fall. We're going to have to deal with this in a different way than we did the first time. We're going to use the fan spreads I showed at the beginning of the guide.
This specific mechanic is not going to be handled with that specific guide, I don't think. Raid plan, strats, Hector, What is this? I'm gonna look at this. I've never seen this before.
Hi guys, this is a short video designed to showcase the raid plan strats in both NA and EU to help anybody who wants to go into Party Finder know a little bit better what to expect if you're joining a raid plan group. First, NA. For Escalon's Fall 1, be aware that they do supports always take the 1st and 3rd bait. DPS always take the 2nd and 4th bait. For Escalon's Fall 2, NA always has support stack north, DPS stacks.
What? What?
Expect if you're joining a raid plan group. First, NA. For Escalon's Fall 1, be aware that they do supports always take the 1st and 3rd bait.
1st and 3rd bait.
DPS always take the 2nd and 4th bait.
What? I don't think this is irrelevant. That sounds weird.
For Escalon's Fall 2, NA always has support stack north, DPS stack south, and then when you have to spread afterwards, the fan out is done like this. Group 1 left, Group 2 right facing the boss, range, melee, melee, ranged.
Okay, that makes sense. A lot of sense. I like that. Instead of standing east-west, standing north-south, that makes a lot more sense. But... that still feels weird. That's where I am right now in the guide, right? Yeah, Escalon's Fall. Okay.
And out is done like this. Group 1 left, Group 2 right facing the boss, range, melee, melee, ranged.
Range, melee, range. Okay.
Blood 3, NA does this as a relative north. This is exactly the same as shown in the Hector guide.
Yeah.
Positions based off of the relative north of the tile in the middle of the 2 red ground tiles, and adjust into your tower or your tile, respectively. For Roseblood 4th Bloom, the initial spreads are done exactly the same as I show in my original guide.
This one, right? You want to make this big outer, section. So you got 2 inner, 2 outer. You can essentially just look opposite. Sorry, excuse me. You look at the inner tiles to see where the new north is, and then you stand. If you're a puddle player, you stand opposite. My chocobo just vanished in game and it distracted me because I have ADHD. Anyway, you stand opposite of the two inner tiles that are flanked by rose tiles, and you spread them out in this conal pattern, two inner, two outer. You don't ever want to go here because you'll wipe everyone in the southern portion of the map. And then everyone who has an AoE stands north-ish. Here, 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 and here. If you touch any of these rows tiles with your AoE, everyone south dies. So I remember that, at least. I was really bad at clearing this mechanic, though.
North, the breaks here are going to be done.
Mimics hiding? There's no mimics.
So facing the middle, have supports run left, DPS run
Fire.
right.
Anyway, this specific mechanic.
So facing the
always fucked me up. This right here. So you stack north with the entire party, or the new relative north.
Stacks up north. The breaks here are going to be done relative. So facing the middle, have supports run left and DPS run right.
That right there always messes me up. Supports and tanks left, DPS right. I mean, I guess tanks are support. It's not. They're not healers. They're support. Whatever. Yeah. This. So. Oh. Okay. The new north. I had the new north mixed up. The new north isn't this. This is pointing towards the new north, if I'm understanding correctly.
However, after everybody stacks up north, the breaks here are going to be done relative. So facing the middle, have supports run left and DPS run right.
Yes. Essentially, this is what I said. Okay, cool.
Finally, for Roseblood 6th, this is going to be dealt with using either heavy mitigation or tank LB in the majority of cases. For this, have the players that need to drop roses go melee south, ranged north, and they can drop in any of the 4 tiles in the direct north-south quadrant. The rest of the players that need to take the towers are going to go ranged, melee, melee, ranged. You want to pop your mitigation such that if you're using tank LB, use it on the H of Holy Hazard. Whatever you do, make sure that your players stay in their towers. They can just sit still in them and they can eat a cleave each. It doesn't matter. Your non-tower players can try to dodge the cleaves if they like to. Even with Tank LB, missing a tower will kill your non-tower players, so make sure that the towers are all soaked. Now for the EU strats. For Escalin's Fall 1, be aware that they do supports always take the first and third bait. DPS always take the second bait. DPS strats. For Escalin's players, so make sure that the towers are all soaked. Tower will...
This is the thing that I'm a little iffy on. I've never actually done this, but I think you might actually skip this mech if you, how do you say... You might actually skip this mechanic if you do enough damage, so we'll see.
Even with Tank LB, missing a tower will kill your non-tower players, so make sure that the towers are all soaked. Now for the EU strats. For Escalin's Fall 1, be aware that they do supports always take the first and third bait. DPS always take the second and fourth bait.
That's weird. That's weird. I don't like that. Okay, that gave me a really good idea of what I'm going to be needing to do. I'm glad that I watched that video. That being said, this was the actual guide that I wanted to watch.
Hi guys, this is a super quick...
Escalin's Fall 2. Actually, we're not even there in the guide, so... Oh, my game crashed. My game crashed. Why did my game crash? Give me a second. I'm gonna fix that. It's always the mimics. It is in fact always the mimics. Okay, sign in with my identifier code. That's 123456. If anyone was wondering, if you wanted to steal all my credit card information, there you go. Ah, shit. You shouldn't be able to see that. Why can you see that? Yeah, the display capture's off. Whatever. It's fine. I don't think we got it routed or anything. There. Okay.
Guide to Brain Dead EF2. We're going to take note of the symbols that we see. Here it's two nears back to back, so we now know the pattern is near, near, far, far, and it's a double swap. Swap after one, swap.
Giga wins T? Unironically? God, unironically, after the Savage tier, after I finished the Savage tier, my plan was legitimately get my Wings of Legacy and then beat the Savage tier and then look into doing ultimates. After you carry me through this, you're the one who'd be carrying me. You would absolutely be the one carrying me. I'm only on M10S and I can't find a party that gets past fucking arena split. That being said, I haven't looked that hard, but still. Hello, Zeffy. Nice to see you. I'm being a little baby and having trouble remembering Recollection Extreme next, so I'm studying.
Swap after 3. And the donut AoEs go off before this mechanic can finish, locking whichever role had the donuts in place. The other role, in this case the DPS, need to take the first hit, because the supports right now can't spread. As soon as the stack markers have gone off, the DPS who are capable of spreading right now are going to spread in so they take the first hit, which is a near bait. Because this is double swap, we now swap and have the supports go in to take the second hit. We wait for one, and then we swap again after the third hit.
So, the thing is, I don't remember... No, I'm confused as to who takes the first bait. Because in this video, it apparently says that NA always has healers take the second and fourth bait, which feels fucking weird. You're only on M3S? What do you mean you're only on M3S? Honestly, I would have... A player of your caliber, I would have expected... Well, I mean, you don't have to play the Savage tier. It doesn't say anything about you, but, like, I would have expected... You hate PF? That makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. I also hate PF, but, like, I have significant social anxiety right now, so I'm not really interested in a static, I don't think, but, like, fucking... I've been trying, I've been trucking along. I've cleared M9S through PF. That actually wasn't that bad. And then the extremes that I've been going through, I've been getting lucky with relatively understanding gamers. So that hasn't been the worst, but yeah. Hey, actually, unironically, if you want, we could go back and like do all the Savage together. I'd love to do that with you. That'd be fucking fun. That'd be really fun. Because I'm only doing the current tier, but I want to learn all of the other tiers. So, just an idea. You can say yes or no.
South, and then when you have to spread afterwards, the fan out is done like this. Group 1 left, group 2 right facing the boss. And the mechanics resolved.
This is what I was confused about. So
Range, melee, melee. For us, Finder, know a little bit better what to expect if you're joining a raid playing group. First, NA. For Escalants,
if you're joining a raid playing group, I'm not joining a fucking raid playing group. I'm making a group and it's not going to be raid playing. Fuck raid playing. I don't think anyone uses raid playing anymore though. To be fair, this was made like within the week. Hey Thunder, how's the EX grind? I got my wings. I got my my third set of wings, as you can see by the icons near my fat head. To the left of me is my Wings of Eternity. So now I have the Wings of Ruin, Wings of Resolve, and Wings of Eternity. Next up is the Wings of Knighthood, and then we go from there. So I have, what, 3 of the 7? Right? I'm literally writing a fucking script about this. I'm literally writing a script about this, so fucking, yeah, 3 of 7 to go. So that's good. So I was confused as to this, but I don't think I need to be. I think in the guide it always says DPS first for the maids, right? Let's see, where am I? I'm at Escalon's Fall 2, so I'll have to go over the guide, the other guide again. A little confusing. Anyway, stock break, who cares? DPS in first, thank God. Very good information.
We've got all of the players in their clock spots, and I start with DPS already inside. Where you get some random.
Yeah, Sector also specifically says that, so cool. I'm no longer worried about that. Nice. But for Escalon's Fall 2, this, everyone seems to do this nowadays, if I'm not wrong.
If I'm going to be honest, I wasn't planning on showing this one because I don't find the original mechanic particularly difficult to solve correctly, and I hate the name. That said, having now tried it, I can see why there's a bunch of NA farm groups that swear by this in Party Finder. The idea behind this is to be able to take what used to be a Escalon's Fall that you had to solve differently from the others using something like fan spreads, and solve it exactly the same way as you do the first and third Escalon's Fall. To do this, go to your usual clock spots, and when the donuts appear, any player who get donuts just need to go out to at least max melee at their clock spot, while everyone else stacks middle. These stacks do not give a vuln, so you can stack them together with just light mitigation. When the players in the donut see the countdown finish, they rush into middle. They're likely going to take 1 or 2 hits from the donut, so make sure that you top them up as they come in so they don't die from the cleaves afterwards, but with light mitigation, this really doesn't hurt. And from this point onwards, it's just Escalon's Fall 1. Here I'm showing the DPS in strat for my original guide, however you can combine this with any strat, just keep it consistent with what you do for the other 2 Escalon's Falls in the fight. The donuts will disappear as the first cleave goes off.
Okay. Wait, not okay. go over it again.
Donuts will disappear as the first cleave goes off.
So, okay. Now I understand. The donuts will disappear as the first cleave go off. So you'll have time, if it's double bait, to swap, I think, right?
Any strat, just keep it consistent with what you do for the other 2 Escalon's Fall.
So yeah, here it's double swap. So the first AoE goes off, then you swap, and the donuts will disappear, so you don't have to worry about it, if that's what I'm understanding.
In the fight. The donuts will disappear as the first cleave goes off.
It's the same as Escalon's Fall 1, only difference is you bait the donuts out and just run through, take a couple of hits. Yeah. I remember doing this like once or twice, but I was worried about it, so... again, so far, it seems like the amount of trouble that I thought I would have is probably not going to be the amount of trouble that I will have. Yet again, it's almost like my brain is conspiring against me or something. Anyway, so yeah, this seems relatively easy.
Showing this again quickly just to show you how you keep uptime if you need to be out first based on your baiting pattern. So we're still doing DPS in first, so supports need to be out first. So when going out, you'll see that main tank just stays max melee, and then after the donut goes off, they stay in their donut, and they're already in position for the first cleave. By the time that they need to swap, the donut's disappeared.
Wait. Am I understanding that both players with stack markers just stack middle? Is that right?
A bunch of NA farm groups that swear by this in Party Finder. The idea behind this is to be able to take what used to be a Escalon's Fall that you had to solve differently from the others, using something like fan spreads, and solve it exactly the same way as you do the first and third Escalon's Fall. To do this, go to your usual clock spots, and when the donuts appear, any player who gets donuts just need to go out to at least max melee at the clock spot, while everyone else stacks middle. These stacks do not give a
Yes, that is correct. Okay.
Doing DPS in first, so supports need to be out first. So when going out, you'll see the main tank just stays max melee, and then after the donut goes off, they stay in their donut and are already positioned for the first cleave. By the time that they need to swap, the donuts disappeared. And that's all there is for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you find it useful.
Okay, got it. That's really not that hard. Okay. Yeah, I feel confident about that. You're confident enough. So I'm just gonna rewatch this to see what it's like first.
And this is telegraphing the next 4 hits of the attack. This is complicated, so let's take things to the chalkboard. Afterwards, we get shock and go to our clock spots. 4 players, all from one roll, are going to get the standard point-blank AoEs that we saw in normal mode. In this case, it's the
Okay, so you can't do this mechanic like that.
These are going to drop a puddle that's going to persist and repeatedly hit, so you need to move out of it. The other 4 players, the other roll, are going to get what are very large donut AoEs. These players instead have to stand perfectly still so they don't walk into the attack. The boss will follow this up with the cast of Alexandrian Holy, and this spawns 4 towers. The donut players are going to be the ones to take the towers. So we use our color prayers that we discussed earlier. The supports go to their intercardinals, and the players that have the point-blank AoEs just need to find somewhere else to go, making sure to leave themselves a place to dodge to.
Cool.
When the ticks go down,
honestly, I entirely forgot about this, so I'm glad that I refresh. Ooh. Did anyone see that stutter? I don't think my graphics card's very happy right now.
Still, while the players in the point-blank AoEs walk out of them. Next up, we get Spectre the Lost. This is a tank buster tether that's going to spawn on 2 random players. The tanks just need to pick this up, pop mitigate, and the spread players are spread.
Okay, wait. So tank buster
graphing the next 4 hits of the attack. Afterwards, we get Escalon's Fall.
Wait, where's the tank buster?
Just need to find somewhere else to go, making sure.
This is what it's like learning with ADHD.
When the ticks go down, the players in the donut AoEs stand perfectly still, while the players in the point-blank AoEs walk out of them. Next up, we get Spectre the Lost. This is a tank buster tether that's going to spawn on 2 random players. The tanks just need to pick this up, pop mitigation, and go someplace where they're not going to cleave anyone.
Cool.
Afterwards.
Cool. Great. All right. So now this, right? Yeah, this. Rosebloom 4th Bloom.
Like this.
Roseblood 4th Bloom.
Though it can also be mirrored. For Roseblood 4th Bloom, the boss will cast Emblazon, and we get 2 ground AoEs appearing. These are going to help us to...
I literally did this before, but I'm going to do it again just to make absolutely sure I understand this. So, 4 players will get AoE puddles, 4 players will get... Wait, sorry. 4 players will get AoEs, 4 players will get markers? Right? So, like, the 4 players with markers will stand in this specific quadrant opposite of the 2 inner quadrants being flanked by rose panels, and then the players with shock AoEs will stand here, making sure that none of their AoEs touch these 2, because this entire southern section will be turned into one massive tower, essentially, and anyone who's in that tower who receives the tower and the shock will instantly fucking die. Wiggle. Okay. I think that's right. Also, after this mechanic resolves, you look inward towards the boss, because everyone... Okay, so the AoEs will go off. These will turn into rose bloom panels, and then the entire party will get tethered. Okay, you look inward towards the boss. Then supports go relative west, and DPS go relative east. If I'm not mistaken. So DPS would go towards D here, I think.
Orient ourselves. 4 players are going to get the rose drops above them. They need to go opposite the 2 ground AoEs.
Yes.
The rest of the players are going to go near the ground AoEs and spread.
DPS yellow. They static. Good. That makes it way easier for my fucking brain.
Patient for the spread markers that are going to appear on them. Now, as long as your 4 players are positioned with their rose drops as you see here, And the spread players are spread. You more or less can't mess this one up, with one major exception. You cannot have any of the spread players touch these 2 red tiles with their AoE. If they do, because when the rose drops drop, all of this is going to be connected together, that spread damage is going to spread through the entirety of the south section, killing off all of the players that just dropped their AoE.
Okay, so I was right about that, just not about the tower.
Those 2 tiles.
That's later.
Everything will resolve just nicely. We're now going to have all of the players come up together in one of the safe inner tiles in the middle and stack nice and tight for encircling thorns. When the purple circles disappear, supports will be tethered to a DPS, and so we need to split them. We'll also get an Alexandrian Banish 3 cast, and that's going to make a stack marker appear on one of the healers. For this, have all your supports run west and all your DPS run east. This will break the thorns. Now, the tricky bit is this stack marker is not a 4-person stack marker, it's an 8-person stack marker. But how do you share an 8-person stack marker if supports are on one side?
Here's the thing that messed me up. So okay, here's the thing that messed me up, because in this guide it says DPS East supports West, right? But when I was originally doing it, everyone did the relative north thing, where you would look at the boss and then DPS would go right, supports go south. But also, at the same fucking time, there's the colors. Which, I mean, I like the colors the most, where it's like, okay, DPS go yellow. That's the simplest. But that's why I was lost. I think I was mixing together multiple strategies at once. How about you absolutely get the fuck out of my chat room, bot? Leave me. Banish. Goodbye. Okay. Chat bot taken care of. Anyway.
And DPS are on the other. The DPS are going to walk into the red tile. Because we've connected them all together in one giant pathway, the stack damage will permeate through it, and this counts as sharing it as an 8-person stack.
Okay.
After we resolve,
I also have to remember to walk into the red tile, because I just straight up forgot that. So
this is raid wide, and then another Bud of Valor cast. This is basically just Escalin's Fall, but there are 2 half arena cleaves to deal with, one before and one after. So look at the pattern, see that we've got the single.
I agree. I really do like these mechanics.
Right
I was just iffy about them because my brain wouldn't remember them.
Right about the time that the second symbol appears, one of the ads is going to show a half arena cleave. Make sure any players on that side dodge out of it. As soon as the cleave goes off, position yourself ready for the first cleave of Escalin's Fall. And now just do the mechanic as you did at the very beginning of the fight. Right around the time that the third attack goes off, you'll see there's another cleave from the other ad. Finish the Escalin's Fall first, then dodge this cleave.
Okay.
We get another stock break stack, and Roseblood 5th Bloom. This is a deceptively simple mechanic.
Wait, I'm gonna test myself again. So, there'll be 2 half arena cleaves. Damn it. So there will be 2 half arena cleaves. You want to position yourself so that you're safe from the first. And then dodge whether it's in or out of the boss's hitbox. And then you want to rotate 2 octants clockwise. Right? I think so.
For this one, the boss will cast Valorous Ascension, doing 2 hits of raid-wide damage. We're going to get these 2 sort of swipe attacks appearing, and pay attention to where the first ones appear. Whichever direction they're facing, either the 2 or the 4 marker, go the opposite side. There's another set later on, but we don't really care about those. We're going to get a Thunder Slash with this, and what we really need to pay attention to is, do we need to be in or out first? In this case, it's in safe first. We're going to position ourselves in. We're in the correct quadrant, and everything's going to go crazy. But after everything explodes, here's how you dodge this. Go 3 tiles clockwise. If you were in at the start, now you need to go out, and vice versa. 3 tiles clockwise, and because the group was in, now they go out, and the mechanic is resolved.
Right.
This is a visual mess, but it's actually pretty simple to deal with.
When I was doing this a while back, most groups were killing around Echelon's Fall 3, probably faster now. That makes sense considering that when I was farming Queen Eternal 2 days ago, we were skipping Ice Phase entirely, and that's a 2-phase fight. So, yeah, that's about right.
There's a Spectre of the Lost Tank Buster, and now we get Roseblood 6th Bloom. For Roseblood 6th Bloom, the pattern will either look like this, or it can look like this instead.
We're probably going to skip this mechanic altogether, right? I'm fairly certain. But if not, you just mid it. If I'm not mistaken. So you can do like... I don't remember the tank prio. I mean the prio for this, but it's just bop 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 bop. And then what is it? Tank healer tank or something like that. In any case, shipping Rose 6 nowadays, your party's really struggling. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about this. This is the main mechanic that I struggled with. Like, I understand it now. You have the 4 Rosemoon players go here, 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 and here. No, wait. Wrong. So you have the 4 Rosemoon players either here, 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 and here, or the same tiles outward, so that they can extend the second tower, because the second tower, if you were doing this mechanic normally, you would need to make it so that the people soaking the second tower wouldn't get hit by the Holy Hazard, but also you can just ignore that shit entirely, have players soak the towers so that everyone doesn't die, and then just tank LB. Right? I'm not even gonna touch myself on that. I know it. So what's after this?
The Rose drops are dropped out. We dodge the first cleave. And then here, the melees can just walk into their towers. The range need to run all the way to the very far end to slip into the tiny little edge of their now giant towers.
Yes, that was right.
That is a repeat of the first Roseblood Bloom, a Thorn Catharsis Raid-Wide, a Spectre of the Lost Tank Buster, 3 back-to-back stock breaks for 12 total hits, and then the boss will cast Roseblood Withering.
Okay, so literally none of this is anything I need to worry about. Okay, cool. Great. Awesome. Amazing. Turn back on game audio. There. That doesn't seem that bad. Okay. Here you come. Holy shit. It's prime time, baby. God damn. 147 high-end duty parties on Aether. Good lord. Oh my god. Now would be a great time to prog M10S, but I'm not gonna. I don't wanna. Fresh D-Ruff, normal D-Rust, normal PF strats. I don't want to join if the party has 2 males already. 1 mil for wings. Fuck you! I want wings! Fuck you! Uptime, Mass Macabre 2. Okay. 1 mil for rings, Brain Dead EF2, Fresh D Rust, normal PF strats, Wings Form, Brain Dead EF2, DPS in. I need to create like a doc for I should actually do that literally right now. A fucking document. So, PF description options. Fucking. Do I remember the one that I was using for Queen Eternal? Alright. It's Fiend's Burden. The Minstrels. Ballad. I'm very slow typing. Fiend's Burden. It was... what was it? Hector... well, of course it's gonna be Hector. I don't fucking remember. Zodiac's Fall, that's interesting. The Abyss... Ballad, Extreme, Recollection, Necron's Embrace. There's no Queen Eternal fights. I could go back in the VOD. Skip Ice was definitely one of them. Clockwise. Or clockwise / counterclockwise. Coronation. Box Meteors. Yes, I got it. So, Box Meteors, clockwise or counterclockwise Coronation, Skip Ice. Yes. Cool. So then it's this currently, which is Recollection Extreme. What are we doing? It's Brain Daddy of 2, melee in first, or DPS. Hector, DPS in. Brain Dead EF2. I'll actually type it out. Escalon's Vol 2. And that's literally all I know so far. Right? One move for Wings, Hector, Brain Dead, Escalon's Vol 2, no fight. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, let's refresh and see if there's anything available. Cool. Dear Us Party. Expect friction. Dearest party, expect Frisch and Hector. DPS in brain dead F2. Yes. Raids. I'm silly. Trials. Recollecting stream. Duty practice. I wish they gave you the recommended button for high-end duties. Actually. Aha! I feel like such a jobber. The fact that I just got so excited about that, but that's actually so cool. I love that. Wait, what the fuck? They take it away? Assholes! Why would they do that? Why would they fucking do that? Dude! That's so stupid! Ugh. Okay, whatever. I'm like the one person who's probably ever noticed that. Actually, that's a lie. There's like actually probably several people who've noticed that and got annoyed by it. Whatever. Interesting that Beastmaster's in melee. Did you win yet? I've won at studying. I've definitely won at studying. I'm now not as anxious about making this party. Up, 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 up. Good. Hey! Hey! I know I did this. Cool. Min eye level, let's say 760. So we can skip like a majority of the fight. Winning at studying is the first step of acing the exam. Damn. I'll do it. He says, crying. Minimum eye level, no. Silent cycle, no. Loot rules normal. From a private party. I think that's it, right? Yeah. First step to getting wings on first clear. Oh. Dude, I have to get one of these wings. I have to get one of these wings by rolling on them. I've gotten literally none of them by rolling on them yet. And this would be the fucking duty to do so on. Considering that you need 100 totems for pity, and this is one of the only fights in the entire expansion that only gives one totem per, whatchamacallit, only gives one totem per clear. So now would be as good a time as any, please. Fresh for one, I can say and flex any roll. Hector, brain dead. BPS deports. That's silly. Okay. Now we wait for the party to fill, hopefully. Where am I? There I am. Dearest farm. Nice. Alright, where are we sitting in the chat room? I'm kind of liking the outdoorsy vibe here. Might just line up right here. If there's any chairs. Ain't no chairs up in here? Open horizon? Oh, got one. Hell yeah. Yeah, the one chair. The one chair. Wait, I want to sit like this. Yes. Cool. This helps not feeling claustrophobic, unironically. It's funny how the human brain works. I really like Ulda, man. I fucking love, I love Ulda. I love Thanalan in general. I'm big on Thanalan. Everyone's always like, lips in the mint, you know. Wrong. I mean, they're not wrong. Personal preference is never wrong, but still, I'm super big fan of Ulda. Also, the Goblet is not a terrible housing district. Fight me. The only bad parts are the parts towards the edge. But if you have a house in the center, it's the coolest one. Fight me. Oh, hello. My cat is flying. Scandalous creature. Maybe I'll like, you know, I should probably actually. Exactly, the swimming area. I want a large house on the swimming area. If I, it's like that's the fucking, that's winning the game to me. No, that's cute. Yeah, like this. I meant to do attention, but this is cuter. I should also probably do my dailies today. I've been slacking on my relic. This is like a week's worth. Or a little less than a week's worth of Aether Well. Left, I mean, week's worth left. Oh shit, do I have markers? I hope you have a good time at work. Thanks for stopping by. Ah! You shouldn't be able to see that. Why can't you see that? Well, oh god. Oh no. Oh god, my game casters. Oh wow. Oh, my game caster. I hope I provide adequate entertainment. You'll probably hear me screaming every time that I don't get a wing drop. Standard. This don't feel right. This does not feel right. EUPF. That feels right. Yeah, we'll do that, I guess. There. Cool. 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 Wow. Oh my God. Wow. What happened? Oh my God. All of a sudden my game uncrashed. That's crazy. Okay. What I guess I could do in the meantime is like what should we call it? I could like study more stuff. Why not? Ah, let me do it. Okay. What a hell? What a hell? There we go. And then I do this to center it. Yes. Cool. Great. Fantastic. All right. No, right. There's a reason that I did it the way I did it. Right. Oh. Okay. Here. um. Desktop capture card default is right. Oh wait. Wait. Right. 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 Vamp click. Good lord. No, I haven't won yet. I was fast. Oh my god. Um. Oh, and normal. Okay. 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 Well, I have 3 people in my party at least. I am simply adding things to OBS. Or what the? Huh. Yeah. Not OBS. To my Stream Deck. So that I can control things and do cool things. Cool, great. It is not working. It is not working. Should not be able to see that. Give me plugins, OBS tools. Check for updates. What happened is I lost all of my files because my PC died, and I lost like 2 hard drives. So a lot of my old, like, just a ton of my old stuff is gone. So yeah, my old setup doesn't really transfer over. There we go. Fourth gamer. I'm nervous. I'm horribly nervous. I'm so terribly nervous. Oh boy. Oh. Confound it. I messed everything up. My thing didn't work. I'm using a good enough version number. Try again. WebSocket password must be set. Manually setting a password. Okay. Tools. Over server socket settings. Have you considered that everything will be alright even if you make mistakes? My rational brain has, but my panicky brain has not. Oh, I didn't have it enabled. Oh, I'm a silly gamer. Wow. I'm so silly. It wasn't even enabled. Wow. Okay. Yeah, instantly, instantly when I enable it, it works. I'm so silly. Okay. Well, at least I got it working. So. There we go. Actually, wait. Open background library. Whoa, you're looking at my Steam Deck. Whoa. Whoa. This is cool. I like Elgato is like actually pretty good when it comes to this one. This is the one that I want. Elgato is actually pretty good when it comes to all of their Stream Deck integration. Well, my Steam Deck. I love my Steam Deck though, but not that. Two decibel steps. Copy, paste, paste, paste. This will be. Well, wait, what is it? Desktop capture card default, and then. Default, and then. OBS audio? Fuck it, why not? Okay. Cool. Great. Amazing. Fantastic. Everything. I did the thing that I wanted. Now I can close this and go here. And what was that sound that I heard? Someone using a mount? That's this. We lost one? I think we lost. No, we gained one. Okay. Okay. This is not what I wanted. This. M12S. I have no idea what horrors I am in for. I've looked at M10S, M11S, but M12S. I'm not gonna look at phase 2 until I actually get there. Like, actually start the fight. But, this shit looks horrifying, from what I've heard. Hector jump scare, by the way.
Is Lindworm. For this fight, you really only need spread positions. These are roll-based, and these can be mirrored, but it's this order from north to south. Sometimes these will be adjusted into these positions to dodge chronocleaves, and sometimes we'll do these in the corner with tanks and melees near the middle for uptime. The fight begins with the Fixer. This is an incredibly hard-hitting raid-wide, so make sure to mitigate it heavily or people will die. Afterwards, the boss is going to reach out 8 hands, 4 on each side, and cast Mortal Slayer. He'll start to show you some balls. The green ones, these are sprint.
Mature.
They can be taken by any player. But the purple ones hit much harder. These are tank busters that need to be taken by a tank with mitigation. To bait these, you need to be on the same side of the boss as the ball, and you need to be the nearest player to the middle of the boss's hitbox. These orbs will always appear 2 at a time, but it's random whether or not you'll get 2 on one side or 1 on each side. You will always get 2 purple orbs.
There's no mimic.
So every
What the fuck is everyone doing? There's no mimic.
tanks. Real simple. Main tank will always take the first purple orb that appears, and off.
Everyone's just looking for a reward to use. I gotta give
Go by the
people
standard raid plans.
stuff to do.
We're using this conga line you see here. H1 wants the first left green orb. H2
Yeah,
wants the
that makes
first
sense.
right green orb.
I gotta
Same thing
give
for
more
the
people
melee
buttons pressed. We just lost
second
someone.
Left green orb. M2 wants second right green orb. The range are adjusting. One of these sides is going to have 4 green orbs. If it's left, R1 takes third.
We
R2
gained
takes one.
someone.
If it's right,
We lost
R2
someone.
takes one.
What the fuck is happening? I don't know I was current, but not for quite some time. Oh shoot, wait, I'm a white mage, B, the person left. So everybody must need to ask each other. I've seen a video, but I've never a fusion never cleared, though I thought I was in black. It was my fault. That's raid plan link. Not a hard fight. Hello, I got a quick bio. What? Okay, nothing really needs my attention. Anyway. One person is apparently not cleared. I should have changed the duty. I mean, I should have had the criteria as specifically people who were trying to de-rust, but like, yeah, whatever. It's fun. It's okay. I'll live. Hopefully, I'll live.
1 takes fourth. As soon as the first orbs appear, you can start to pre-position. Here we have the first players are on the wall, on their correct side, in the hitbox. The players that are second in line are sort of on deck, and they're in the hitbox, but they're not all the way on the wall because they want to be far enough to not get clipped by the first explosions. Everyone else waits outside of the hitbox. The rest of the orbs will appear. Here we see 2 green on the left, followed by 2 green on the right. As the cast finishes, the first players are hit, and they want to immediately move out of the hitbox so they're not the nearest to the middle of the hitbox. The safest way to do this is to move out towards the corners. This ensures that you're not going to accidentally get overlapped by the players coming in. As soon as player 1s move out, player 2s slide into position, and it's like a conveyor belt. The third player on each side can slide into the on-deck spot, and we just continue this until all 4 players have taken their orbs. Here, the ranged players don't have to move because the next 2 green orbs are guaranteed to only target players on the right side. If you're an NA Party Finder, they do immortal rolls instead. Be aware that because the 2 purple orbs are always going to be on the same side of the boss, you can just assign the supports to whichever side has purple orbs. So wait for the orbs to start appearing, and as soon as you see some purple orbs, that's the side the supports will take. DPS will take it in the order you see here from top to bottom. Supports will take it in the order from top to bottom, but with tanks taking purple and healers taking green. Your first players move into position with your second players on deck. And when all orbs have appeared, the mechanic plays out otherwise exactly the same.
Interesting.
One last thing to be aware, it is possible to have 2 orbs at the same time, 1 tank and 1 regular orb. If this happens, you should know that the outermost orb goes to the innermost player. So right now, since the purple orb is on the outside, off tank is nearer to middle to make sure they get that tank orb and it doesn't go to H2 instead. However you resolve Mortal Slayer, group up afterwards in the northwest corner and do a loose spread. The boss will cast Grotesque React 1 and grow a dragon arm, and we get a bunch of debuffs. First, let's talk the purple debuff. These are
Wait, what? He specifically said group up close to middle, but he chose them all right here.
However, you resolve Mortal Slayer, group up afterwards in the northwest corner, and do a loose spread. The boss will cast Grotesque React 1 and grow a dragon, and we get a bunch of debuffs. First, let's talk the purple debuff. These purple debuffs come with a growth on your character that will either be in front of them, behind them, or on the side. We pre-spread so we can see our growth a little bit easier because these growths signify a cleave that you're going to shoot out at the end. These cleaves are relative to where the growth is on your character. If you rotate the way you're
I'm just gonna check. Yeah, we only have 6 gamers. Yeah.
looking, you rotate the way the cleave will shoot. The other debuffs are just stacks and spread. One player has a stack debuff. This will always be on one player of a role. The other role will all have spread debuffs. These go off at the same time as the cleaves, and we'll deal with them at the end. But before that, we stack nice and tight because we have 4 sets of puddles to bait. We're going to bait these along the north wall, moving inwards. First one. Second puddles. The boss will start to prepare a Ravenous Reach as we do the third puddles. And for the fourth one, we are going to swerve towards middle and drop these near the hitbox arrow. As we do so, pay attention to the head of the dragon as it starts to move. It can move straight down or diagonally across. This is going to shoot out a cleave like in normal mode, so we need to get behind it and deal with our stacks and spreads over there. Dodge to the safe side. Resolve the stack up in the corner, while spread players go to these positions you see here. Don't forget to turn your cleave away so that you don't accidentally shoot it through anyone else, or it will likely kill them.
Interesting.
Let me rewind just to show you other possibilities that could have happened. Here, Grotesque React 1 goes off, and this time, supports have spreads. DPS has the stack.
This specific mechanic makes me, like, really want there to be some kind of way to lock your rotation while attacking an enemy. Because there are interesting times where you're, like, you want to attack, but every time that you attack, you face an enemy. So the way that I handle it generally is like, I'm gonna show you in game. Let me show you in game. You can do that on controller at least. That makes sense. But the way that I do it is like I will hold back on the keyboard, so that's D, and then I'll hold both mouse buttons so that I can rotate in place. And then I'll just lock my position here. But it makes it really uncomfortable because, you know, I use shift as a modifier key for my attack bindings. But hey, I'm not gonna kill anyone, so it's worth it, I guess. I used to have like a macro to do this for me on my mouse, but no longer. Okay. Back to the video.
React 1 goes off, and this time, supports have spreads. DPS has the stack. We still bait our puddles exactly the same. Fourth puddle, we head towards middle. And we pay attention to the head here, and this time we see that the head is going diagonally across, so the whole group is going to dodge towards the west to be able to dodge this. This time, supports are going to spread, while DPS stack in the corner. If you look here, just be aware that the stack players are stacked, but they're still in set position so that they can easily aim their cleaves towards the outside while still sharing the stack together. However you resolve this, immediately afterwards, send your tanks away from where you just finished while everyone groups up on the same side. This is because blobs are going to drop down, and we need to dodge these as they expand while also dealing with tank busters on both tanks. Stack on one player.
Blowjob brothers cleared.
Just going to stack on the same side we finished.
No, I was just mentioning how I lock my position in place.
And while these are meant to be spread tank busters, with enough mitigation, you can just stack these. Either use your 40 and short cool.
Okay, so this is how I lock these in place as a keyboard player. I hold D on the keyboard and then press both mouse buttons so that I'm moving forward. But since you're holding forward and back, you can rotate in place. So you can still face the boss. But you can also still attack. Yeah. You want the orchestra? Nice. Up at dawn, I'm ducking out of bed, out of bed. I throw my baggies on the water is calling.
Cooldown, or everything but your 40.
Damn, dude, look at that.
Busters. With enough mitigation, you can just stack these. Either use your 40 in short cooldown, or everything but your 40.
Wow. So you're meant to spread these, but like, holy shit, look at the size of these.
Everything goes off at the same time, and group back together for another The Fixer. Remember to mitigate this.
Damn, bro.
Next up is Grotesque React 2. A whole ton of debuffs.
You're on your way. I don't want to become one.
Forward is this is the most complicated mechanic.
I'm fine with just seeing them.
When the timer reaches 0,
flail about from floor,
as it will form a tether between the two of them.
Wait. Why is the screen turning gray?
Complicated mechanic. A whole ton of debuffs spawn.
Oh god. Oh wait. Fuck. What's that one fight? Was it P12S with fucking Athena and all these ridiculous cooldowns? I'm so sad that I never actually did that fight. Fuck. That was such a cool fight conceptually, which is actually intricate mechanics. I need to go back and do that one day.
And let's bring this to the chalkboard, as this is the most complicated mechanic in the phase. Players are going to have these alpha and beta debuffs. When the timer reaches 0, these players should be stacked together, as it will form a tether between the two of them. To break this tether, you need to run opposite, and this is easier if the tether is nice and short when you start.
Okay.
When you get far enough
normal
away,
tether
the tether
mechanic.
will snap, causing spread AoEs on both players, giving them a magic fold. Shortly,
Yeah, this is very much like P11. I mean P12S.
will turn into a tower.
What?
Since both players have a magic fold, they can't take this tower. Blob, which will giving them a magic fold. Shortly afterwards, underneath the beta player, there's a blob, which will turn into a tower. Since both players have a magic fold, they can't take this tower, so another beta player is going to have to slide in to take this tower from the tether break. There are also towers that spawn from blobs the boss drops at the beginning of the mechanic. These towers will be soaked by the alpha players. Both alpha and beta soak their towers in the exact same order. 3, 4, 1, 2. Alpha players are always going to take the towers that are dropped by the boss as
Good lord, that sounds nightmarish.
Beta players are always going to take the towers that spawn.
I have lost I've entirely clocked out for this mechanic. Holy shit.
3, 4, 1, 2.
What?
Alpha players are always going to take the towers that are dropped by
Wait.
and beta soak their towers in the exact same order. 3, 4, 1, 2. Alpha players are always going to take the towers that are dropped by the boss as blobs, and beta players are always going to take the towers that spawn from the tether breaks from alpha and beta running opposite each other.
What the fuck does this mean? Okay, I'll know what this means when I actually get there, but like, what the fuck? First blob tower, second blob tower, third blob tower, 4. So 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so you take the second set and then the first set. Okay. You want the alpha players to do that.
Take the towers that spawn from the tether breaks from alpha and beta running opposite each other.
Get in the tower. Oh my! I still can't fucking believe we're getting like the near alliance raids. They made a lot of sense, you know. It's Square Enix merging together two Square Enix properties. We're getting a fucking Evangelion raid series, dude. Like, what the fuck? That's gonna be crazy. I can't wait for every hold. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, and then the B is therefore first and second. Okay, that's not that complicated, but you have to. It makes sense that you would have to do
each other. These breaks have to happen while the boss is middle doing that cruel coil spinning thing. Alpha players will run out the exit, while beta players run opposite the exit to make sure the tethers break quickly enough. We can simplify down everything based on the debuffs as soon as you've got them. Alpha players are going to be taking a tower first, so they're going to find their correct blob and stand on it. After they soak their tower, they stand perfectly middle, ready for their debuff to run out, and then they run out of the exit to break their tether. That's it. If you're an Alpha 1 or 2, instead you start middle, because you're going to break your tether first, so run out the exit when your debuff runs out, and then go find your blob to stand on what will become your tower. Beta players, super easy. You're just running opposite the exit twice. Once when you need to break your tether.
There goes the gamer. 1 second. This fight is 20 years long. That sounds wrong. Anyway, I'm gonna refresh the timer. Okay.
Power from someone else breaking your tether. So let's play this out chronologically. Grotesque React 2 goes out, and debuffs. Alpha players should immediately spot their alpha, and remember the order of towers, 3, 4, 1, 2, because the first thing that happens is we just wait while the boss drops the blobs. Here's the first blob. This is going to be soaked by 3 alpha, so H1 is going to focus on this spot. Here's the second blob, and player 4 alpha is going to focus on this, in this case H2. These 2 blobs, the first 2, are always going to spawn nice and near middle, because they'll be inside the snake while it's spinning around.
Okay.
There's the third blob, that's going to be taken by 1 alpha. And there's the fourth blob, that'll be taken by 2 alpha. The boss will cast Cruel Coil, suck everybody into middle, bind us for a couple seconds. And now the mechanic begins. 3 and 4 alpha can go and immediately just sit on their blob, ready to soak it when it turns into a tower, and they don't need to do anything else before then. Everybody else should stay stacked tightly middle so they don't get clipped by any attacks. The boss will spin, and I normally call out not yet at this point. Nothing happens here. Wait for another spin. With this next spin, the 1's debuffs will have expired, and so it's time for them to break their tether. 1 alpha runs out, 1 beta is going to run opposite the exit, the tether should snap, and this is going to cause spread AoEs on both of those players.
Oh.
Towers are now going to spawn, and we need these to be taken by the number 3s, so the 3 beta just makes sure they slide into their tower. The boss spins again, and now 2s break.
What an intricate mechanic.
2 beta stays in and runs opposite the exit.
I mean, it's not the most intricate, but it's for Savage. This is cool. I like this.
We're going to take these towers. If I pause for a second, you can see that the alpha players on the outside, main tank and off tank, are already trying to run towards their blobs because as soon as they get on top of their blob, they're done for the rest of the mechanic. They sit there and wait for the tower to get soaked. The boss spins again, and now 3s are going to run out to break their tethers. Tower spawn, and these are soaked by the number 1s. The boss spins again, and 4s will break their tethers. Alpha runs out, beta stays in, the tower spawn, and these are soaked by number 2s. After all of the towers have been soaked, the boss will spin around one more time, and all of the beta players who are hopefully still inside rush out the exit, just in time so they don't get crushed. That's it. That's the whole mechanic. We now get a Splatter Shed. This is a raid-wide, but nowhere near as hard-hitting as the Fixer. Still mitigate it, and it's going to explode the boss's arms, which will be replaced with Dragon Arms. Grotesque React 3 is next, and for this one, do a loose spread middle, as you're going to get debuffs, and you're once again going to get growths on your player. Unlike last time, rotating the way you're facing doesn't do anything. These growths are fixed in the direction they're pointing. For the start of this mechanic, we want to point these growths inwards, towards the middle. So we're going to run opposite the direction our growth is facing, towards the cardinal to start. This will always be 1 support and 1 DPS at each cardinal direction.
Huh.
The boss will become untargetable, and now we get ground AoEs signifying some of the ground is about to be broken up. These can be a bit confusing to read. It's about to leave either all cardinals or all intercardinals safe, but it's not immediately obvious which one's which. I focus in on this 1 AoE here. If there's an AoE on the 4 marker in the top left, that means that cardinals are safe and you stay put. Here we stay at the cardinals, but we need to spread out as our debuffs will require us to spread shortly. We're sending supports bottom left and DPS top right. However, if I overlay the spread AoEs, you'll see a problem. Currently, main tank and R1 are too near to each other, and you'd have the same problem with off tank and R2. So the players on the north and south platforms are going to do this adjustment here.
God damn it!
So that now everyone's spread out enough.
Okay.
The platforms will get broken. Slide to make sure you don't get clipped by these AoEs.
What the fuck?
Broken. Slide to make sure you don't get clipped by these AoEs. Are going to do this adjustment here so that now everyone's spread out enough. South platforms are going to do this adjustment here so that now everyone's spread out enough. The platform, and you'd have the same problem with off tank and R2. So the players on the north and south platforms are going to do this adjustment here so that now everyone's spread out enough. The platforms will get broken. Slide to make sure you don't get clipped by these AoEs. And then immediately afterwards, you are going to get bound into positions, and now the debuffs go off. Your blobs are going to shoot off in the direction that they're facing. They're shooting a tower and a spread, which will hopefully be caught by an opposite player. For instance, R1 is shooting their tower towards M2, and M2 has just shot their tower at R1.
What?
If positioned correctly, the mechanic resolves just fine. Afterwards, the stage will transition, but before I go any further, let's rewind and see how things could have looked slightly differently.
Dude, that's so cool.
Intercardinals.
That's so ridiculously cool. I like that a lot.
We've got our debuffs. We've gone to the cardinal, so our growth is pointing towards middle. And as the AoEs appear, no AoE on the 4-way mark. That means that intercardinals are safe, and everyone needs to rotate in the same direction. We're going to have everyone rotate clockwise. For this one, supports can all be bottom left, DPS top right of their little mini platform. Watch where you're positioning, and adjust if you're accidentally in one of the AoEs. And then the bind will happen, and this time all of the towers are going to get shot in a clockwise circle, but everyone's positioned to catch another player's tower if you're in these exact spots. The stage will transition again, and now the next set of mechanics really depends on which platform we have, so I'm going to run through all of them chronologically for each of the two platform varieties. Let's start with the Cardinal safe first. So this is the platform you'll have if you were on Cardinals. First thing, dragons are going to spawn in these exact positions. These will shoot a tank buster at the nearest player, so tanks are going to run up and hug the wall near to them to aim these diagonally towards north. Take this with either heavy mitigation, or my group like to use invuln here, just to make it less likely they get clipped by the next attack. Afterwards, the two dragons are going to shoot 3 spread AoEs at each of the 3 furthest players from them. To resolve this, tanks just need to run middle, and the melees need to go near to the wall, and this will ensure that the spread AoEs are all going to get shot onto the non-tanks. Afterwards, stack up middle and mitigate for the Fixer, and then stack top left for Grotesquerie Curtain Call. When this goes off, honestly, it's really similar to Act 1. We get debuffs, every player gets an alpha debuff. We get some yellow debuffs, these are the spreads that we saw beforehand, and some purple debuffs on another roll. These are still just spread, but now they're going to get hit by the Ravenous Reach Cleave later on. They have to not die. We're now going to get 5 set of puddles instead of 4 sets of puddles. So we bait the first 3 along the northern wall. The boss will prepare a Ravenous Reach. After 4 puddles, we're going to go back and we're going to try to drop the 5th one right on the hitbox arrow again, so that we can easily adjust to whichever side the Ravenous Reach head goes toward. Currently, the Ravenous Reach head means that the
Duel or Die is so cool. I wish Boston was real. I have to go back one day.
The DPS who
I still need to get my perfect duel against Lion.
On the west side, somewhere where they get hit by the cleave.
I mean, I have
and start to spread.
I have the title for getting all the duels done, but I don't have all of my honors yet, and I don't have
so without heavy mitigation,
the satisfaction of beating Lionel's ass. Lion's ass.
As long as your yellow spread players are out of the cleave and your purple spread players are in the cleave, all of the attacks will go off just fine. Immediately afterwards, rush middle as your alpha debuff's about to expire. This debuff chains every support to a DPS, and we're simply going to run out supports left, DPS right, while going to our spread positions in order from north to south. The tethers will break and make a small spread AoE, and now you'll have noticed some blobs have dropped down. Immediately after the spread AoE goes off, dodge the blobs. Now let's rewind all the way back to see what this combination looked like had we have had the intercardinal safe platform. For this, the dragon spawn
training, yay! I like rain.
Tanks are going to position to be the nearest player once again, and they're going to aim theirs to the northern corner. Everyone else is going to be positioned like this so that they can take the spread AoEs. The boss will cast the Fixer. And now for Grotesquerie Curtain Call, we're going to stack up here, and for our puddles, we're going to do a loop in the northwest corner counterclockwise. 1 set of puddle. second set of puddle, third set of puddle. While these puddles are happening, players should look at their debuff to realize supports need to be in the cleave this time. Fourth set of puddle. And after the fifth set of puddle, which should be back near to where you started, look at the head. Supports want to get hit by this cleave, DPS want to get behind the cleave. So everyone will spread. Note, these are the spread positions suggested by the raid plan. However, it is perfectly fine for the players who need to be in the cleave to spread anywhere in the cleave. It does not matter where, as long as you're not clipping other players. Just be aware this is what you're most likely to see in Party Finder. Remember to mitigate, and the attacks go off. Afterwards, rush middle. The Alpha debuffs will activate. Supports left, DPS right while spreading. After your spreads go off, immediately rush towards the safe spots.
Okay, that's simple enough.
There's going to be a Splatter Shed raid-wide to heal and mitigate through. And then we're going to get a repeat of Mortal Slayer. No differences from the first time that you saw this. And now we get Slaughter Shed. For Slaughter Shed, I recommend having the support stack up slightly in front of the hitbox arrow and the DPS either on it or slightly south of it. When Slaughter Shed goes off, the boss will do some raid-wide damage, explode its arms, drop down some blobs, and spawn spread AoEs on one roll and a stack on the other roll. Here's how we resolve this. The safe spots are always the northern corners. The stack is always going to go to whichever corner has a blob. In this case, it's currently the D corner. The spreads are always going to go to the corner that doesn't have a blob in it. In this case, the 1 corner. The stacks need to hide all the way in the corner, while the spreads are going to position tightly in these spread positions here. It's really helpful if the corner spread player gets to their position early so that everyone else can position relative using the circles that you see as telegraphs. While this is happening, pay attention to the boss as it regrows its arms. It's going to regrow them one at a time. Here we have a dragon left and a dragon right as all of the explosions go off. Dragon heads are half arena cleaves like in normal mode, so we start on the right side and then swap over to the left side. Slaughter Shed will then repeat, so we again position with our groups so we can easier see if we're stack or spread. The blobs fall down. This time stacks will go to the 1 corner and spreads will go to the 4 corner. This time supports are stacking and DPS are spreading.
This is a significantly simpler
And
mechanic.
this time as the hands regrow, it's left and then right, but they're normal hands. These are not half arena cleaves. These are knockbacks from the top corner. Since the first knockback was on the left side,
got a gamer.
we're going to position on the corner of the 4-way mark to ride it. Knock.
One moment.
Back left, and then immediately position for knockback right. If you time your knockback immunity well, you can just ride out and then immediately the 4-way mark to ride it. Since the first knockback was on the cleaves, these are knockbacks from the top corner. Since the first knockback was on the left side, we're going to position on the corner of the 4-way mark to ride it. Knockback left, and then immediately position for knockback right. If you time your knockback immunity well, you can just ride out both of these like H2 did. Finally, position for one more Slaughter Shed. Same thing that you've just done twice over. Do it a third time. When all's done, if the boss isn't low enough, they will just become untargetable and instantly kill you. However, if you have gotten them low enough, they will start to cast Refreshing Overkill, which serves as the Enrage. If you get the boss to 0% before this cast finishes, the boss will become untargetable, but you will see a phase transition towards Phase 2. If the boss isn't at 0% before the cast finishes, though, it's game over. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed.
This cat's so cute. Oh, this cat is adorable. Okay, initially I was gonna save the guide for when I actually did the fight, but I'm bored. So, holy shit. The phase 2 guide is like 1.5 times larger than the phase 1 guide.
Warning, this guide features strats. So it's near the end of week 4, and currently NA Party Finder and EU Party Finder are both following different pace builds. For the 4 mechanics of this fight, they do some things differently and some things the same. So this video is not going to be 2 hours long. This video is just going to focus on the current NA Party Finder standard strats, with a couple of suggestions here or there on how to make things a little bit safer.
One moment. Nothing. Okay.
But if you're an EU Party Finder player and are wondering, what about my strats? There should be another video already up on my channel, uploaded simultaneously with this one that shows just your versions of the strats. So go check that one out instead. Finally, if you're a static player, do Banana Codex Rep 2. Party Finder doesn't do this in either NA or EU, but it is so much better, so because it's not Party Finder standard, I'm going to have to save it for a mini guide. Hi guys.
I want to know what Banana Codex is. What the fuck is Banana Codex? This is probably the macros that I got told about.
Mini guide to Banana Codex Rep 2. This was the strat that my group personally used for replication 2. It's only not in the main guide because nobody in Party Finder seems to be doing it right now, but I do think it's a pretty big improvement over the standard Party Finder strat. A big difference for this strat is, whilst Agent is being cast, the boss is already facing D, and we're going to do everything in this entire strat relative to D as our new north. So I'm just going to twist everything, and whenever I mean north, I mean D right now, even though that's actually west. The clones are going to spawn in. Just like before, they're going to tether to players. We go to our clone. They lock in place.
What?
Replication happens. The boss clones spawn in. They show their mechanics.
What the fuck is happening?
Now here's one big difference between the standard strat and Banana Codex.
Oh,
How
2
we
gamers.
set up our
Holy shit.
clones is a little bit different.
2 gamers. Oh god, it's filled. Okay. That's enough of that. Jesus. We're just waiting on Lunio. And other things that I worry about that are silly to worry about, I always worry that I'm gonna zone us into the wrong instance, and then everyone's gonna get angry at me. Even though that's silly. Who would care? I'd be like, oh, and then I'd zone us into the right instance. It'd be fun. I am a perpetual warrior who also needs to fill up his water. Hell. Not accepting. Was it me? I don't know if it was me. What the fuck? G? We did. And we have a DC. No, that. I'm not liking the energy this party's bringing right now. Personally. Oh, I'm really not liking the party this energy is bringing.
Upon my blade, I swear, no harm shall come to her highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter!
Yeah. I should have.
Taste my steel!
I should have locked the party to people who've only completed it. Do we have a fresh learner in here? That's my bad. God, I'm so indecisive about this shit. It's not good. I'm hesitant to burn the entire fucking party down, to be honest. I mean, not hesitant. I have. I am like this close to burning the whole party down. This is just a means to an end. Yeah, I'm not gonna forget about locking the party anymore. I should have set duty complete.
Upon my blade, I swear, no harm shall come to her highness. Feel the sting of my divine blade! Try this! No quarter!
Single bit. No.
Taste my steel! I will show you the soul of a royal knight!
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna try that again later. That was not. Not kosher. That's on me for not setting the fucking party to, words. That's on me for not setting the party to duty complete. That is a lesson that I need to have learned. I didn't need to go through that, and I didn't need to put other people through that. I will remember that in the future. So with that in mind, let's see if I can get some Splitter into prog. If I'm remembering correctly, I have the entire fight of M11S M10S memorized. I can recite every mechanic back. In my head, at least. Man, I feel gross about that party. I need to internalize that, like, while that was an unpleasant experience, they're gonna forget about it, probably. Like, I doubt anyone really holds on to that for more than a day. But I always panic about everything. So... I'm just gonna try to ignore my feelings and focus on progging M10S. In fact, I can write a little bit in my script. You can see how cringy my writing process is, because it's not very good, but I need to do something, else I'll never make anything. Alright. I started off Saturday by anxiously avoiding anything to do with recording myself and playing Slay the Tycoon in bed while feeling guilty about it. That's actually true. I eventually snapped out of it and started streaming with the intent to learn a collection stream. I listed a D-Rust party. I listed a D-Rust party. I listed a D-Rust party. Consider that. I remember most of the mechanics. Just needed to listen to the year's party, considering that I remember most mechanics. Just needs get resettled. But I forgot to list the party as duty complete instead of duty completion. And it blew up into pools. That's on me. It's still a bit fresh when it comes to hosting parties in PF. So I'll have to remember to be a bit more careful when making them. On the bright side, help from chat, mostly Thunder, mostly Thunder. Healthy amount studying my anxiety around the fight. Mostly clear. Party blowing up left a bad taste in my mouth, so I thought it's weird narrating this shit as it's happening, but it's better that I do it sooner rather than later so that I don't forget. The bright side would help him chat. Might as well. M10S. .5 rise. Hmm. No, this is good. Okay. We'll stop there. Yes. Cool. Great. Amazing. All right. Party's almost full. I crave a... What do you mean? What? There. I was gonna say I'm gonna show you one of my favorite spots to lounge about in game. Casa del Sol, obviously. Oh shit! Is that one of the big bad fates? The world fates? Yep. I need to do literally all of those. But I like sitting here. No, like being able to look out that way and that way. It's just a very good cliff, I think. Ooh, but that might be better. Mr. P. Who's Mr. P? I know Yoshi P. Who the fuck is this? Oh! Oh! I didn't know this guy. Was he? Oh shit! Something you need, but no, it's not time yet for me to step out of the shadows. What am I talking about? You say? Just musing to myself is all. I'm just a man watching the scene, nothing more. You sly motherfucker! Oh! I was like, yo, this is actually probably a better spot to gaze at. Fuck. You can't stand here? Shit, he's jacking the one good spot. Whatever, I'll just go over here, I guess. Mr. P is Yoshi P's father. I see. This would be an excellent vantage point for the Moonfire Fair. I can't wait for the Moonfire Fair again. Actually, fuck, wait, isn't the Rhapsodies of Vana'diel quest happening right now? I've already done it, but I wouldn't mind doing it again. I really like the Alliance Raid series. That I. Oh fuck, you got the fat cat badge? I'm so jealous. I'm too broke for that. Oh, it's Saturday. I'm a fool. Of course it's popping right now. That's also probably why people are crabby in Party Finder. Because it's the first day off that they have until they're cranky. Not that I'm judging, it's just, you know, that's how it goes. Okay, so the current goal is N 10S, and then after that we'll go back, circle back around to Recollection Extreme. It's the anniversary of 11. Wow. 20th, I'd assume, or am I high? It is. Wow. Fuck. I wish I had. I mean, you were literally there when I was trying out 11, and I still do want to do 11, but I just two MMOs at one time is so much, and I'm so distractible. Up and down, I'm jumping out of bed. After my bag is on, the water is calling. Free time is coming back. If I had a sub, I would. Right.
This will be a tag team match of extreme proportions.
Like, fuck. The Echoes of Vana'diel alliance raids were so good. That's suspicious.
Flames to set the ring ablaze. Thunder down.
That's suspicious. Yeah. I wanted the last raid to be a fight between 14's Ghoul and 11's Ghoul. That would have been sick. But I did like where they took it. Like, it did a really good job at making, like, giving me a lot of intrigue towards the narrative beats. The one problem that I have with 11, and it's like, this is a very privileged thing to say, is there's not a lot, or there's not nearly as much documentation about it online as 14, and I'm very spoiled by 14. Okay, that's clean. Cut back blaze.
The flames are spreading. At this rate, the challenger will be trapped.
Clean, very clean. Tons of space.
Wipe you out.
For story, for progression, Both, really.
Fun for me. Deep Blue's lost his cool. He's tagging in. If there ain't a wave to ride, just make one yourself.
Spreads.
Good gods, what an enormous wave! And they dance out of the way unharmed. Unbelievable!
Shit, my bad.
You're going down!
Fuck! I killed everyone. Ugh. I could use a pet right now. I am actually panicking. Fuck, man. I hate that shit. This is what I always panic about.
I can handle you alone. My word, such form for the challenger. I ride you first.
Yeah, it's far enough. I'm not gonna die.
Oh, what fearsome flames! He set the rage ablaze! The flames are spreading! At this rate, the challenger will be trapped!
That felt a little weird, but it's fine.
I'll wipe you out.
Don't kill everyone this time. Don't kill everyone this time. Come on, gamer, please.
Hey,
Your heart can barely take it.
Deep Blue's lost his cool. He's tagging in. If there ain't a wave to ride, just make one yourself.
Light parties.
What an enormous wave!
Alright, stand in the fucking boss hitbox, you goober.
And they
I almost killed myself. It's fine. No first you. There.
You're going down! What a drag. Let's do this together, bro. Both brothers have entered the ring.
What? Let's do this together, bro.
They don't fight alone either.
Spectacular. Cool.
The extremes fight as one.
Well, I can't believe they're making out right in the middle of the arena, in front of all these spectators.
It seems the referee is allowing it. It's double trouble for the challenger. We're just getting started.
Spreads.
This trick just for you. Play
stack. Reds. Thank you, Buster. Cool. Raid wide. Fuck.
Feel the burn. You're going down. The brothers have triggered a fusion explosion.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, I actually know the fight. Fuck. Thank God. Oh. Shit, man.
Eat this. Bet you've never seen anything this gnarly.
That's not.
I'm not finished with you yet.
I think one of the Tethers. I don't think one of the Tethers was done correctly. No? Okay. We were doing a split. We were doing a Swell. Okay. Nom nom.
If there ain't a wave to ride, just make one yourself. I like burn.
Okay, so I did it right. I did it right. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Cool. 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 That alleviated a lot of my anxiety. January. Oh God. We're good. We're good. We're good. We'll get there.
This will be a tag team match of extreme. unfortunate.
I can handle you alone.
Right where we ought to be.
My word, such scorn for the challenger.
I lie in the furry.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Ooh, fearsome flames! He set the ring ablaze! The flames are spreading! At this rate, the challenge